Finally, one more thought. Falstaff in Shakespeare's Henry IV taught us that the better part of valor is discretion, which I take to mean that sometimes it's best, perhaps even bravest, to give up the fight rather than continue to lose. We saw that this week when a police officer in upstate New York tried to pull over the district attorney from Monroe County and met resistance from a less than contrite prosecutor, only to have her realize that backing down was her better course.
I am so sorry. What I did was wrong, no excuses. I take full responsibility for my actions. I fell short of the values I've held for my entire 33-year career.
We've also seen it in the drama that is Paramount International. Shari Redstone fought hard for control of the company her father had founded, stuck with it even as its market value fell, and now has concluded that the better part of valor for her is to sell it. And this week moved out the CEO just before the earnings call to facilitate the deal.
Shari Redstone here is desperately trying to get a deal done with Skydance, which is why she had to get rid of Bob Bakish, who was opposing the deal pretty vocally from the get-go.
Fed Chair Jay Powell showed both valor and discretion this week. Valor in sticking to the Fed's course, but discretion in admitting that it was taking longer than they'd thought to get to their destination.
I do think it's clear that that policy is restrictive, and we believe over time it will be sufficiently restrictive. That will be a question that that the data will have to answer. I think it's unlikely that the next policy rate move will be a hike.
We definitely saw discretion triumphing over valor in Major League Baseball's decision this week to dump altogether those new uniforms they'd worked so hard on with Nike. The uniforms that showed us just a little too much of our favorite baseball players. It's painful to admit our mistakes, even if doing so will put them behind us. I learned this the hard way when I ran ABC News, and we enlisted Leonardo DiCaprio to help us with an Earth Day special. This was back in the days of yore, when journalists were trying to maintain a line between themselves and entertainment celebrities. And we took it a bit too far by arranging for Mr. DiCaprio, fresh off his performance in the Titanic, to go to the White House to interview President Clinton. It caused an uproar, but I resisted calls for me to back down and admit it had all been a mistake, insisting that we had been trying to get an audience for a serious news program about climate. And for my troubles, was rewarded by sitting down front at a black-tie dinner as the President of the United States got some laughs very much at my expense.
I just want to say this to David Weston. You know, I've been in a lot of tough spots. Don't let this get you down. You may not be America's news leader, but you're king of the world.
It sure didn't feel like I was the king of anything that night.